Alright, so, this is a fun little another Halloween-centric fanfiction idea I kind of had, and I wanted to throw this out here because I thought it'd be kind of fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is this is a one called Halloween Eternal, or the Halloween Empire. No matter, I think I'm going to call it the Halloween Empire when I post this, but yeah, the Halloween Empire is not a like Halloween. Well, it is Halloween, but not Michael Myers Halloween story. Where in this universe, this is set in New York. This is set in a modern day New York, and is It's kind of like a crossover event. It's basically like a big crossover event, and the main villain is Samhain, the spirit of Halloween. Yes, it's Samhain, but we're going by the Ghostbusters, or the real Ghostbusters slash Extreme Ghostbusters version of where they called him Samhain instead of Samhain. So just to let you know, when I keep going, I don't want to get actually it's Samhain. I know, I'm going by the show. I'm aware. Anyway, so this takes place long after the events of real Ghostbusters in the episode when Halloween was forever, and the original Ghostbusters managed to defeat Samhain and lock him away once more. But now he is broken out. How did he break out? Well, essentially what's going on is that this doesn't actually start with the Ghostbusters. It actually starts with the Ninja Turtles, who are following up leads on a mysterious cult that has been going around snatching up members of the Purple Dragons and other people. And one of the people that got captured was Casey. Yeah, Casey Jones ended up getting captured, and the Ninja Turtles are looking for their missing friend. And essentially, they fan out across all of New York, and they run into this wacko cult of Samhain. And they have like some knowledge that Samhain is a real thing, but the Ghostbusters beat them, beat the entity. So now it's just like, well, whatever. Like at first, that's the thing. Like I wanted to have like Raph, so they're worshiping some Sam guy, and Donatello tells them, oh, he was the spirit of Halloween. If I remember right, the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters team, beat him decades ago and locked him locked him away again. And Raphael's like, all right, fine, fuck it, whatever. Let's stop these guys. Basically, what they're trying to do, this group is not sacrificing the cult. What it's basically trying to do, this cult is actually doing something a lot different. It's more or less capturing people and putting the fear of Samhain in them, so it spreads throughout the city. So when people get released, they start like freaking out and telling stories, because the cult is using like some kind of dust that's like a fear toxin, and telling them about all their, more or less sending people back out in the world and be like, oh my god, Samhain is a real thing, and like it spreads like a paranoia, and the dust also is on their clothing, so when they go out, the fear spreads of Samhain. And therefore this is all during October, so when it gets to Halloween, when the dimensional barriers between the living and the dead are at their weakest, the fear of Samhain is going to go haywire, and it's just gonna basically kick down the walls and let Samhain get free. Very intricate, I know. Anyway, so the Ninja Turtles are like, okay, so this Samhain guy, and he's freaked out Casey. We stopped them, the cult got away, but now there's like fear everywhere, so I think we're gonna need some help. So the Ninja Turtles are like, hey, and for those wondering, this is the 2012 version of the Ninja Turtles. And the Turtles all gather, and they're like, okay, listen, we're going to have to reveal ourselves to the Ghostbusters. And for those wondering, well, if they showed up, if the Ghostbusters are in this universe, why didn't they help with the ghost apocalypse thing, that Sabatini unleashed? I had a idea of they, the Ghostbusters were in another universe. They were in hell at the moment, so they missed that. And even I wanted to bring that up of Raphael's yeah, you guys were a total no-show when Dracula and all the other monsters and ghosts invaded the frickin' city. Where were you guys? And oh, it was a whole thing. We were in hell. Obviously referencing the Ghostbusters Go to Hell movie that never got made. And also, this is the Extreme Ghostbusters lineup right now, since the real Ghostbusters have all retired. Anyway, so the Ninja Turtles reveal themselves, and I wanted to have this fun moment where they meet the Extreme Ghostbusters, and they're like, "Don't panic, don't freak out, we're turtles." And of course, like, Roland has, Roland and Kylie have been like keeping up on like the whole Ninja Turtles in the sewers. Like, it's always been an urban myth, but now, hey, they're real. So they tell them, hey, this Sam Hain guy has been like more or less dropping a fear bomb, a like steady fear bomb on New York. We need to do something about this. But by the time they try to stop it, by Halloween, it's too late. Sam Hain has erupted into the world, and now more powerful than ever. And this, of course, gets the attention of other people who are living in New York. Spider-Man is not here, but who is here is the gargoyles. Who the gargoyles are brought into this when they look up and be like, I see all these monsters and ghosts flying around and be like, oh, that's not good. You might want to do something. Jake Long is also involved in this because he's been hearing about the stories of Sam Hain, and he's also been investigating in his own right. And also another big member of it, another big team in this is actually Witch. Yeah, so Willow, Willow and her team are more or less, they're all brought together, and they're like, oh crap, that's not good. So we got Witch, Jake Long, we got the Gargoyles, Extreme Ghostbusters, and the Ninja Turtles. And they're all that's standing between the, more or less Sam Hain creating an eternal night across the planet and making the forever Halloween. And literally, like, that's them. That they're the only line of defense. Because what happens is that other heroes actually hear about this and are all rushing, like when Sam Hain escapes and is more or less, not just, he's calling ghosts this time around, not just from New York, he's calling ghosts from everywhere, from like Amity Park, Gravity Falls. He is calling ghosts from all over the world, and he's pulling them, even out of Gracie Manor. He's calling them all to him to be like his to join the eternal Halloween. So obviously that's going to attract some other people to go face him. But the problem is that what has happened is that Sam Hain has built like a supernatural barrier around New York that's slowly expanding and enveloping other things. So, and and you may think, oh well, the heroes can just go right through it, right? That dome is meant for like non-living entities to go through. So living entities just get turned to molten skeleton forever. And the only humans that are safe are the ones in New York, where the center of the dome began. So they're safe, but they're slowly dying. Like anything alive in that ever expanding dome is dying. Now Danny tries to make it through, but because he's half human, it just starts hurting him even more. So he has to like leave. He has to like leave the dome. This energy dome, but by the end of it, more or less what happens is that the team basically has to the respective teams are like, okay, listen, we're all dying. Like Egon breaks it down for all the united team, like the entire united force in New York, and they're like, so here's the deal, we're all dying. We're all dying. Like it's not just us. Every living thing in New York is dying because this energy that Sam Hain has created is just meant for only the supernatural, and it's only meant for the unliving. So we're all affected. Now the thing is that humans are more affected more. So the Ghostbusters are actually more affected. The Heart of Kandrakar is actually protecting the Guardians of Witch, and they're protecting it's shielding them for now, but it's affecting them slower. Same with the with the Turtles and the Gargoyles. They're affected slower because they're non-human, so they can actually keep going. Like they can actually like fight a little longer. It also helps that with this eternal night, the Gargoyles don't need to go into a stone sleep. Jake is also unaffected, although he is half human, so he does have, like, it is affecting him faster as well. Like, but it's not as fast as it's affecting the Ghostbusters, but it is affecting him on a more excelled rate than the other ones. So everyone has to literally like come together fast to stop Sam Hain from creating like the eternal Halloween, and doing so like they all have to like pool their magic, pool all their resources, everything they got, because if they don't do this, this is the end. So when they face Sam Hain, more or less the one thing that he fears, because he's been around enough, he knows what the heart of Kandrakar is. So when Will brings the heart out to challenge him, it freaks Sam Hain out. And also Jake helps build like a magical barrier to encircle Sam, and it more or less changed Sam up, so it allows the Ghostbusters to hit him with the proton packs, and he's weakened enough to be sucked into the ghost trap. At that point, Goliath more or less just is like, what should we do with him now? Like, what is to be done about the Lord of Halloween? And to which they're like, there's literally nowhere we could put him that's safe. And that's when Clockwork shows up and is like, I'll take him. So Clockwork, the Ghost Master of Time, shows up and he's like, listen, you can't really hurt him because he's kind of like, he may be the eternal, he's Halloween. He's literally the spirit of Halloween. He's not just that, he's also the spirit of the harvest. So he is literally the autumn season. He is the embodiment of the autumn season. So he's kind of like an elemental force to the universe. We kind of need him to keep going, because if we don't have an autumn, we get thrown out of balance. So I'm gonna need to take him. I'll punish him, don't get me wrong. I'll punish him for this bullshit, but like, I can't let you hurt him. He's a necessary evil. So Clockwork deuces, and everything is taken care of. There's a longer version, but I'm just kind of like, I don't want to go into the full. Maybe I'll come back to this at some point, but for right now, I just wanted to do the abridged version. The abridged version is almost 15 minutes as long as it is. So anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the Eternal Halloween? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Comment below, let me know. And once again, I have a Patreon. Go check that out if you haven't already. And other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.